Imagine waking up not to an alarm clock, but to a perfect internal timer. Your body already optimized, your mind focused, every second of your day pre-calculated for peak efficiency. We chase productivity like a drug, constantly seeking the next hack, the next app, the next guru promising to squeeze more life out of our limited hours. We highlight, we list, we track, driven by this relentless urge to do more, to be more, to never waste a single precious moment. But what if the limit isn't our willpower or our tools, but the very hardware we're running on? This messy, flawed, gloriously inefficient human body and mind? What if the ultimate productivity hack isn't a technique, but an upgrade? Meet Elias. Elias wasn't born with a mind wired for relentless output. He was average. Prone to distraction, a master procrastinator, the kind of guy who'd spend an hour meticulously organizing his to-do list instead of actually doing anything on it. He worked a decent, if uninspiring, job. He had friends he'd occasionally flake on. He felt, most days, like a beta version of a human, full of bugs and compatibility issues. The world felt faster, more demanding, and he felt perpetually behind, struggling to keep pace with a reality that seemed to require a level of cognitive and physical optimization he simply didn't possess. He watched others, seemingly effortlessly juggling multiple tasks, absorbing information like sponges, their minds sharp, their bodies energized. He yearned for that effortless efficiency, that feeling of being perfectly aligned with the demands of the day, rather than constantly fighting against his own nature. Then he found them. Not a new app or a self-help seminar, but something far bolder, far closer to science fiction and self-improvement. It was a clinic, discreetly nestled in the digital shadows, whispering promises, augmentation. Not just prosthetics or implants, but a deeper integration, a rewiring. They spoke of neural interfaces that could filter distractions at the source, metabolic regulators that optimized energy levels throughout the day, and cognitive enhancers that sharpened focus to a laser point. It was expensive, ethically fraught, and terrifyingly experimental. But for Elias, the promise of finally escaping the shackles of his own mediocrity was too tempting to ignore. He wasn't seeking superpowers, he was seeking parity. He wanted to function, truly function, in a world built for peak performance. He underwent the procedures. Tiny, almost invisible connections woven into his nervous system. Micro-injectors delivering precisely calibrated biochemicals. It wasn't a single dramatic transformation, but a gradual shift, like optimizing software in the background. The changes were subtle at first, then undeniable. The world became quieter. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of noise, the endless mental chatter, the intrusive thoughts, the siren call of notifications. His focus became absolute. He could dive into complex tasks for hours, his mind a steel trap, every piece of information slotting neatly into place. Energy levels were no longer a roller coaster. They flatlined into a steady, unwavering hum. He found he needed less sleep, recovering faster, his body seamlessly repairing itself. He started excelling at his job, not through brute force effort, but through effortless, sustained concentration. He was completing tasks in a fraction of the time, his brain working with an almost alien precision. He was productive in a way he'd never dreamed possible. The internal struggle was gone. The procrastination, the self-doubt, the mental fatigue, they simply weren't there anymore. He was a machine of efficiency, smooth, silent, and incredibly effective. He felt complete, like he was finally operating at his full potential, unburdened by the limitations that held him back for so long. He started taking on more projects, learning new skills at an alarming rate, his ability to absorb and process information seemingly limitless. He was the embodiment of peak performance, a living, breathing productivity flowchart. But something was missing. In his relentless pursuit of optimized output, he'd streamlined more than just his work. Social interactions, once fumbling and awkward, became efficient negotiations of information exchange. Emotions, those messy, unpredictable things, were subtly dampened, their disruptive influence minimized. He found himself analyzing conversations for their data points, measuring effectiveness instead of connection. The joy of a spontaneous laugh felt inefficient. The comfort of simply being with someone without a productive goal seemed like a waste of precious, optimized time. He was performing at an elite level, yes, but he was also becoming a stranger to himself and to others. His friends noticed. The easy banter felt forced. The shared experiences felt transactional. He was hitting all his metrics, exceeding every expectation, but the vibrant, messy, human spark was fading. He was a perfectly tuned instrument, expertly playing a technically flawless melody, but it lacked soul. One evening, sitting alone in his perfectly organized apartment, his productivity apps glowing on his multiple screens, he saw a notification, a reminder of a birthday party he hadn't bothered to RSVP to. A party with his old friends, the ones who knew pre-optimized Elias. He felt a flicker, a faint echo of an emotion. Not sadness, not regret, but something akin to absence. He looked at his perfectly optimized life, his calendar a seamless flow of productive tasks, his mind a fortress against distraction, his body a well-oiled machine. And for the first time, he felt the weight of his own efficiency. He was maximally productive, flawlessly functional, but he was also profoundly alone. The silence wasn't just the absence of mental noise. It was the absence of connection, of spontaneity, of the beautifully inefficient messiness that makes us human. The productivity wasn't a tool. It had become the purpose, consuming everything else in his relentless pursuit of optimization. He had become the ultimate productivity hack, and in doing so, he had hacked away at his own humanity. The ultimate goal of productivity isn't just to do more, is it? It's to live more, to experience more, connect more, feel more. Elias, in his quest for perfect efficiency, had traded the richness of human experience for the sterile perfection of pure output. His story isn't a judgment, but a question, a stark illustration of a potential future. As we push the boundaries of human capability, as we merge with technology in the relentless pursuit of more, faster, better, what do we risk leaving behind? What is the true cost of ultimate productivity? And when we finally achieve peak optimization, will we still recognize the person we've become?